I'm bored, so I'm posting a Pokemon battle. Yay. Alright, this was a OU battle from Smogon forums and stuff, and it was pretty close. I was trying out some new guys. He leads with a Gallade, I lead with Rapiu Face, the Metagross. He close combat, and that does about half. So I set my Stealth Rocks up, and I Bullet Punch now because I can, and he has a -1 defense. And I got a critical, which brings him down to his Focus Sash, and then he close combats again, and that will not kill me. I live with 19 HP, and then he switches out into his Tentacruel to take the pretty obvious Bullet Punch, which he does. And I tried to explode here, but I couldn't because he's faster and killed me with Hidden Power Fire. And so yeah, Metagross dies, and yeah. So I go into Gyarados now to kind of scare him off with the Earthquake, and I do go for the Earthquake, and he goes into a Yanmega, and he gets raped by Stealth Rocks. He avoids the Earthquake, obviously because he's part flying, and then he Bug Buzzes, and that does about half to Gyarados because Gyarados is a tank. And Waterfall will kill Yanmega because he's newbie. Even though he's not newbie, he's pretty cool. So I get my leftovers and whatnot, and he goes into his Torterra. I Waterfall to get damage because damage is good. Does about a third. He Leech Seeds, and so with Leech Seed and leftovers, he's going to be getting a lot of health per turn, and I'm going to be losing some. And so yeah, the Waterfall really didn't do that much, so I switch out into Pubes. That's a Tangrowth, and he sets up a stockpile, and I can't Leech Seed because he's Grass type, and I just go for the Sleep Powder, and he goes back into his Tentacruel, and getting that asleep isn't really too bad. And I didn't want to Leech Seed because these things can have Liquid Ooze, which would make me hurt from Leech Seeding them, so I didn't. I Power Whip, it misses, and then, well, I knocked off his Black Sludge so he won't get recovery. Then I miss Power Whip as he Rapid Spins my Stealth Rocks away, and Power Whip does a lot, and it was pretty annoying because if I didn't miss, he wouldn't have been able to Rapid Spin, I think. Maybe, I don't really know. Yeah, so he goes into his Honchkrow, who takes about half from that Power Whip, and I switch out predicting the Heat Wave, and he does go for the Heat Wave, and Gyarados takes that pretty well. I kind of want to try out a Honchkrow, and I probably will eventually because they're pretty cool. And so I Dragon Dance on the pretty obvious switch, and he goes back into his Torterra, and I'm just going to keep waterfalling to get as much damage as possible. So now because I have a Dragon Dance, I'm going to do about half with that Waterfall, and then he misses a Leech Seed, and so he gets leftovers and stuff, and I get leftovers and stuff, and I Waterfall again, and he will live that because Torterra is awesome, and then he misses Leech Seed again, which didn't really matter too much in the end because I still would have been alive and I would have killed him with another Waterfall, so, but he would have been able to like do stuff, but I don't know, it didn't really matter too much. So I just kill him with an Earthquake. I don't know why I hit Earthquake, but I did. So now he goes back into his Honchkrow, and he Sucker Punches, and I didn't think this would kill me, but it does, because Honchkrow is really good, and it's Stab, and already pretty strong, so. I go into Machamp now, and he Brave Birds, and I have max HP, and this still kills, which was really weird, but it's okay, because he dies to Recoil. So, yeah, we're both down, and now I go into my Scarfed Shaman, because Scarfed Shaman's pretty cool, and I go for the Psychic to finish off this Tentacruel, so he's out of the way. And he goes into his Scizor, and I switch out back into Tangrowth now, because Tangrowth can take physical hits pretty well, because I have max HP, max defense. So he Bullet Punches and gets a crit, and that barely does over half, and with leftovers it is just about half. And that's from a Choice Banded, most likely max attack Scizor, so that's pretty cool. I lived that other bullet punch pretty easily, and I put him to sleep. So I knock off his choice band now, so we won't be doing as much damage, which is always pretty good. And he's still asleep. I go for the leech seed to get some more recovery and to get some damage on him. And I'm gaining a lot of health per turn now, and I really like Pubes because he's actually really good. He's UU, but I like using him in OU because I like him. So yeah, I'm back at about 3/4 now, and he U-turns out because that's really all he could do to hurt me. And he ends up getting another crit, and that will kill. And I don't think it would have killed without the critical, but it didn't really matter too much. But I guess that makes up for the leech seed misses somewhat. So now I go into Infern Rape, and this is my nasty plot Infern Rape. And so I vacuum wave the Gallade because they can carry like Shadow Sneak, and I didn't want to get any more damage. So he goes back into Scizor, and I can take that bullet punch like a champ, and then kill him with a flamethrower. So good game. Whatever your name is, I will say it in like 3 seconds. If this page ever loads, no, it's not going to load. So comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.